the little skibbities lost their right-wing voice. Well, one of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Poor little skibs. Poor little right-wing skibbities. Hello, hello, hello. Today was quite the day. Quite an interesting day. Well, dude, yeah. It's an odd day for sure. Do you think Gum Boy's passing will make a huge impact? It already has. Like he's lionized as a saint already. He's getting eulogies from both sides. People are starting to clip his best moments, and people that never heard of him are now hearing of him. He's going to be twice as famous as he ever was. And he'll be a political figure mentioned for at least the next 100 years. It's like it's been over 50 years since Martin Luther King was assassinated, and he's still talked about every day. I'm not saying Charlie Kirk was Martin Luther King. I'm just saying political assassination is a political assassination. Bro. I was talking about this earlier, Phoebes. Like you're saying, I sincerely and genuinely fucking hope it wasn't a leftist. At this point, it doesn't matter. It's already a leftist in people's minds because the right-wing media, I mean, Trump himself said, this type of leftist political violence. So it doesn't matter. Dude, if they find this guy and he's like a never Trumper or some crazy groiper or some shit, like the people that they're not going to care, they're not going to believe it because Trump told them and Kash Patel told them and all these other big wigs have told them this is a leftist violence. So it doesn't even matter who it is now at this point. And honestly, it never did. You have an arch conservative shot in front of 2,000 people in broad daylight with a fucking hunting rifle. You know, and I don't know if you guys remember, but when we covered Trump's assassination attempt, when he was nicked, all of our reactions were, he just won the presidency with this. This is the most compelling thing. You take that and you dial it up, because Charlie Kirk wasn't a presidential candidate, but he was a huge political figure. And all of the chaos and all of the division in America that we've been talking about, where people seem like they can't even talk to each other if they disagree anymore. People seem more on edge, more likely to be violent or to lash out at people over political things. And all of that shit just got cranked up. All of that shit. And violence begets violence. So let's say that like some crazy right-winger wants his get back and kills some leftist. And then there's a good chance that somebody's going to fucking kill another right-winger. And it's going to escalate, you know. Now we're going back on Destiny's stream. You know, I reached out to Destiny about a month and a half ago. And I think I was pretty nice in it. I was on Discord where we'd first kind of set up meeting the first time. And I said, hey, dude, it's been about a year since we talked. I'd definitely be keen to talk to you again. I don't really care about your personal issues and stuff. I have no interest in like trying to bring that shit up because I got nothing to say about it, but just politics and stuff would be cool. And he never got back to me, you know what I mean? And I know he's a dude that autistically checks his fucking DMs. So he's seen it, he just doesn't see a point. And that's cool. He's a big streamer and I'm a small streamer. And I happen to think that he made quite a few pretty good performing videos out of our content, but it's what it is. It's up to him. I think he's kind of cloistered off right now and is really keeping the amount of people that he talks to pretty low. And thanks for the book. appreciate it. That's the joke. Yeah, those parties are literally tearing our country apart, and everything that's done on both sides divides us more. Yeah, it seems that way. Man, there's a ton of you guys out here tonight, aren't there? Are you guys like having trouble sleeping because of what happened today too, like I am? Are you guys having trouble like winding your brain down a little bit like I am? Did you and Jaffe ever talk again? No. I don't want to get into it, but that's stymied a little bit. Dude, this guy really wants his joke acknowledged. Can one of my mods acknowledge his joke for him, please? He's desperate for it. He really wants it acknowledged very deeply. Thank you. MAGA was in shambles until this afternoon. Now everyone who has ever voted Republican is finding themselves. Yeah, no. I mean, this is the type of thing. This is why Scotty and I, when we went live today, were really trying to not play into the chat's instincts to be edgy and fucking like celebrate, because like, dude, if you think that this was a blow against conservatism, it was actually opposite. It was actually like you shot them with a steroid dart. It's like, this dude is now a martyr. This guy, like, this happened so publicly and so violently that nobody can deny it. It doesn't matter what, like I said, it doesn't matter who the guy is now or if they even find him. It's a leftist. He was killed by a leftist for his politics. That's the narrative, and that's what it'll always be. And it's just a scary time, you know what I mean, all around, because it doesn't need to be said, right, that this type of shit begets this type of shit, begets this type of shit, begets this type of shit. Well, Charlie Kirk, you know what Charlie Kirk would have been? A forgotten fucking relic of the past once his little generational dudes grew up and moved on to other people and shit. He would have had to move on, and maybe he would have moved into politics or something. But you just made, or not you, whoever killed him just made Charlie Kirk 10 times bigger than he ever would have been. Like I said, they're gonna talk about Charlie Kirk for 100 years. They haven't even slowed down in talking about the people that were murdered in the 60s. Huey Long, JFK, RFK. You know, these names are still huge. Malcolm X, MLK, a lot of Ks. Huey Newton, yeah. Yeah. JFK, RFK, the list goes on and on, right? And these types of political assassinations tend to beget more. So it's one of those things. The video is absolutely over the top. So I'm just going to let you guys know. I want to talk about this real briefly, not to make it about me. We were streaming earlier. When I saw it this morning, I had just woken up, just gotten awake, had my coffee, was wiping the crust out of my eyes sitting right here. And I saw a news story. And I was like, and I saw this distant video of what happened. I was like, holy shit, did he just duck or what? And then like I saw the close up, and it's one of the gnarliest things I've seen in a long time. And I got to tell you guys, not for nothing, but I've got PTSD. It's the victim of gun violence. And so my heart went like, and I got this huge buzz of adrenaline, and I was like, I have to go live, right? So I called the guys, and I made a thing, and I went live, and like for a couple of hours, we were just really analyzing it, and I was looking at different angles of the shooting and blah, blah, blah. And then it was all of a sudden like my mind started to process it. And and like then it got bad for me. And I had to excuse myself for my own show. Like I was like, hey guys. And I'm not saying up an excuse. I did a plans with my parents today, but it wasn't like hard, unmissable plan. I just needed to get the fuck up out of there, bro. Because it started like settle in. Think about it. Oh yeah. It's fucking wild. No. I get it, dude. I've been on the internet longer than most of you motherfuckers. I've seen way ganglier shit, but I don't seek that shit out, and I haven't for like 20 years, bro. I stopped watching that shit because it does not have a good effect on me. But trust me, I've seen probably the same type of gangly shit you've seen and more. No, it's more just I had a gun held to my head for about an hour and a half and was told I was going to be killed. I was released, but I was carjacked and kidnapped or whatever you want to call it. And I had a gun held to my head, so I'm very sensitive about the idea of somebody's head being fucking blown off. And that's basically, for all intents and purposes, that's what happened to Charlie. One of the things that I was talking about in a Discord earlier was that, like, this shot, if you know anything about hunting, this shot couldn't have been better. This was almost a completely and entirely perfect shot. If you're trying to kill a deer, you aim right behind its ear. And that's where Charlie was hit. He was hit right here at the base of his skull, and it came out here. And for those of you that don't know, and I'm not trying to be explicit, but if you look at the most close-up video, the blood that came out of him, not only was there so much of it that I was absolutely positive he was dead as soon as I saw it, but it was dark. If you notice that, that's dark, deep arterial blood. That's blood that's coming straight from his heart. And that is what blood looks like when it's straight out of your heart and it hasn't traveled and deoxygenated and spread out. And so he was dead on impact. I probably severed his spinal cord. He was certainly unconscious immediately. I mean, he was talking and then his whole body went limp. He was out, he was gone, and then blood just, so. Thanks, no regrets. I appreciate you telling me how bad I suck. Yeah, no description. Well, the shooter was a sniper. The shooter, I think, was up on one of the roofs of those buildings or in one of the rooms of those buildings. So, I mean, I don't think anybody saw the motherfucker. Yeah, if I were you, man, if you're sensitive to that type, I wish I hadn't seen it. And this is coming from a dude, like I said, I've seen way worse, but I don't look at that shit anymore. And I don't know if you're sensitive to that type of shit. Like my mom, I told my mom is here staying with me. My mom and stepdad visiting from California, and she was listening to me today. And I was talking to my stepdad about it. She was like, I showed him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." My stepdad is a retired Army combat medic. He took one look at it, and he was like, "He is dead." My mom said, "I want to see it," and I said, "Mama, no, you don't. You don't need to see it." And my stepdad agreed. He was like, "You don't want to see it." Nikki, there are over 7 or 8 angles on the shooting now. I mean, there were 2,000 people in the audience. I'll never unsee it. It's something that you'll never unsee. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. No, I just saw a thread on X that has 7 different angles. You lying? What am I lying about? There are 7 angles on this that I was able to count. Yeah, no. Deep arterial blood. He lost like a pint of blood before he hit the ground. You don't know, but I am lying. Oh, okay. Watch this. I'll tell the truth. You're about to be banned. 10 seconds or less, you'll be a ghost here. We'll see if it's a lie. Neither right nor left. No one remembers. Excuse me. It's just the truth, though. Was he shot left to right? He was shot right to left. So he was hit from this perspective. I'm just trying to picture the camera. Camera's pointing. Yeah, he was shot right to left. So he was shot here, the base of his skull. And because of the trajectory, the bullet came out here and was followed by an immediate gout of deep arterial blood, almost black blood, so dark. That's how I knew he was dead. And it's just nothing like the movies. The movies, you know what I mean? When you see a person die like that, and it's not the only person I've seen die like that, and in more horrible ways. Like somebody tried to say earlier, the internet used to be very fucking, you know, crazy. But yeah, if you see somebody get shot in the head or the neck and they lose a pint of blood before they drop, they're dead. It's a dead person. Pimp Monk, Big Cat, Scott Henson, and Cobra JFS. Sure. What are the chances that it actually was a hunter? Well, I was talking with people earlier, and I said, whoever took that shot, because one of the first pieces of evidence to me that we looked at, and we looked at it early, we were on it early. We were there really quick after this broke. And one of the most compelling pieces of evidence to me that it was a sniper before they were calling it a sniper, because there were people saying it happened close. It was somebody not far from him. And the reason I knew it was a sniper is they were interviewing two girls that were relatively close to the stage. And they asked him, like, well, how did it unfold? And she said, well, I heard pop. I heard a pop, but it sounded like it was a firework or something, like it was really far away. And then Charlie Kirk, you know, his neck exploded and he fell over, and I thought he was dead on impact. And I was like, that's a sniper, right? You hear the report of the rifle, but it's muffled because there's so much distance between you and the target. So it just sounds like, so that's when I knew we were dealing with a sniper. And so, like, if you're talking about like I can guarantee you the FBI is talking about the chances that this guy is ex-mil, or an avid game hunter. We're talking avid game hunter, somebody that has dropped a lot of deer, right? Somebody that knows exactly how to fucking Captain Obvious. Well, I'm sorry, bro. Like, somebody asked a question about it. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to have, like, some deep shit that nobody else has? Why don't you get the fuck out of here, Jersey Mike? Make me a sandwich, you little bitch. Why don't you make me a sandwich with that good-ass drizzle on it? You know what I'm talking about, that Jersey Mike's drizzle? You know what I'm talking about? What they got that oil and the vinegar on there? You dumb little motherfucker. No, it wasn't suppressed, bro. It was just a distant shot. Yeah, that is actually, if you guys want to, I don't recommend you see it. But if you want to see the only other like headshot kind of video that is even comparable to what happened to Charlie, Bud Dwyer, is a politician that killed himself. So it's a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But if you want to see the kind of serious, deep arterial blood kind of thing, because it's very similar in my mind. There you go, baby. But yeah, it was just one of those things. Someone collected his hat. I saw a video of a dude that jumped, because he had a bunch of MAGA hats that he was throwing out before the event. And I saw a video of some dude that jumped the fence after the shooting and was grabbing MAGA hats right off the desk where he died and like throwing them to people. And then the cops came and chased him off, but they didn't stop him. And that's like a crime scene. You know what I mean? Like the cops were trying to keep people out of that, but there just wasn't. Like, that's why I don't buy this shit when they interviewed the governor and stuff about the security. That's why I don't buy it. The cops didn't have that crime scene cordoned off. They had no plan. They had no control. There were not enough of them there. There were too many people there that nobody knew who they were. There was no security at this event. They weren't covering sniper positions. You know, and this is a fucking high-ranking political commentator that is like really close with the current president, who's highly unpopular with a lot of people, highly controversial. He had an assassination attempt on him during the last fucking, you know, it's just one of those things. It's kind of like got me scratching my head. The miscommunication between Kash Patel and the governor of Utah seems weird to me. Kash Patel announces we caught the guy that shot Charlie Kirk. Then we go live 10, 15 minutes later, and every law enforcement person, including somebody that's a representative of the FBI field office in Utah, says that they don't have him. And then it gets to the governor, and they finally open it up for questions, and the first question is, Kash Patel, FBI director, just said that you have somebody in custody. And he contradicts everybody that just spoke before him and says, well, yeah, we do. And then later on, like 10, 15, 20 minutes after that, it's announced that, oh, we had the wrong guy. They released the suspect they had. So it's just like, something's going on, man. It's starting to smell like a professional hit. You know what I mean? I don't know who would do something like that, but to me, it's starting to reek like a professional hit, because what kind of yokel, I don't care how good a hunter you are, gets away from something like that? Like, completely gets away, really isn't caught on camera anywhere. Like, it's starting to feel like a hit.
We were trying to be like, we got him on the CCTV, but you know how those are.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And everybody in here is saying the left, and I'm not saying it wasn't. I don't know who did the hit. Like, if, let's say, we're off in fantasy land already, but let's say it was a hit. A lot of you in here are going, well, it's the left, it's the left. Bro, you don't think the right's going to benefit from this? You don't think the right is going to get a huge surge from this dude getting martyred on the stage? They had every reason to fucking pull this off too, bro. So it's like, I wouldn't point fingers until we know who it is. Yeah, dude, the right is going to have Charlie Kirk as a martyr for fucking ever, bro. They're right-wing accelerationists, maybe some element of the government that realized we needed like, one of the things I saw floating around, and we're talking conspiracy theories here, was like Trump needed to get everybody's fucking eyes off the Epstein shit. He needed something big to happen. He needed something big to happen that would benefit the Republican Party and make him look good and make him look like he's the right one fighting the good fight with all this Epstein shit. Feel me? So you want to get conspiratorial with me and say it was leftists, it was leftists. Oh, I'll get conspiratorial with you and say it was rightists. Yeah, you know, the Reichstag fire, the Gulf of Tonkin. It's not like the government and agencies within the government are above faking some shit.
We're really getting off into conspiracy land.
Well, that's it, though. But it's like, that's what people are doing everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they don't find this guy. But that's why I'm off in conspiracy land a little bit, is honestly because the longer this goes, where they have a manhunt this size and they've got nothing, not a description, not a fucking... There was a claim that they have him on CCTV. If that was the case, they'd have this motherfucker. And because this is like the biggest manhunt in American history since, you know, I don't know when. Like, this is going to be the most wanted man in America. And the fact that he's evaded for so long, it just feels pro to me. Like, What yokel with no access to the university just finds out Charlie Kirk's going to be there, crawls up on the roof, pulls off a fucking 1 in a million trained sniper. It's not 1 in a million, but like a trained sniper shot, and then just gets away, ghosts. Like, that sounds like an agent. That sounds like somebody's trained to do that shit, not some fucking yokel that went crazy. It's like pro shit. It's like pro shit. That's why I'm off. That's why I'm off in conspiracy land. Like, look at the dude that nipped Trump. Dude, that guy was fucking dead before, he could even stand up. And he was an idiot. Some local fucking moron that slipped through the fucking security cracks or whatever, if you believe that's what went on that day. This don't have that flavor, bro. Dude, he had the fucking, because I was following this from the very jump. And he had the authorities fucking going insane. Like, they were contradicting, like every little tidbit that came out contradicted the last. Here's the suspect. Oh, wait, maybe that isn't the suspect. Nope, it sure isn't the suspect. No, he is the suspect. No, he isn't. They have the suspect. No, they don't. You know what I mean? The authorities have a picture of the guy. No, they don't. The authorities think he was shot from only 200 feet away. No, it's 200 yards away. It was from this building. No, it wasn't. It was like, dude, there was no, like, typically when something happens like this in front of so many cameras and so many people, dude, the authorities know. They do trajectory. They know exactly where he shot from. They know. This dude ghosted. This dude was gone. I mean, there had to be more than 500 cameras on the event, and probably hundreds or at least dozens upon dozens of security cameras all over the campus. It's like this dude just evaporated. I saw a picture of somebody running across a rooftop right after Charlie was shot. It's a black figure. It may as well be one of those blurry ass Bigfoot figures. You can't see shit. Dude is in black head to toe.
Well, I think that's their CCTV.
No, that was shot from the fucking view box.
Oh, I see.
So there's like those box seats up above the amphitheater, and it was shot from that. Charlie gets shot, and the people up there are freaking out, going like, "What happened?" And in the very far background, you see somebody stand up and run. But it's literally a black dot.
What is your problem today?
He just wants some mama time, I think.
But he does this even when I was sitting in there. He was scratching at the window over here.
He wants to sniff around for Marley. That's all I can think. Well, you don't got to go to watch people die. I saw a thread on fucking Twitter just like 20 minutes before I started this, and I was like, I got to get out of my fucking head where I'm not looking at this shit because it's not good for me. I don't like seeing it, but yeah, I saw like 6 or 7 angles of it, and each one of them is pretty fucking worse than the last, bro. Dude, if the guy ends up being some hot Italian guy that gets reported by a McDonald's worker, I'm calling shenanigans. I'm just letting you right now. If he turns out to be a hot Italian dude and they catch him because he was reported to the authorities by a McDonald's worker, I'm calling straight up shenanigans. 100%. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. Yeah, his name is Mario. That would be crazy. They're like, we caught him, and it's a hot guy. His name is Mario. And he was caught, 3 states away because a McDonald's worker called in a tip. You know what I'm talking about? Mario Malucci, yeah. His name is Mario Malucci. I'm already calling bullshit. No way they have no one. No way they have no one unless we're dealing with a fucking pro. Or unless the authorities don't want to have no one because they kind of knew what was going to happen. Bum, 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 boom. Doo 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 doo. World leaders give thoughts and prayers to him like 10 minutes after the fact on Twitter. Yeah, dude, that was a little fucking odd, wasn't it? Before they even knew he was dead. Before they even knew he was dead. Because, dude, we were hella people, though, were saying he's dead, he's dead. And I thought he was probably dead. And I said that. I said, I think he probably is dead, but we don't know for sure he's dead. And yeah, people, like, there were hella, like, powerful people giving the RIPs before, like, anybody had announced that this motherfucker was dead yet. So, yeah. Zesty ass comment section for a zesty ass stream. Well, it wouldn't be zesty if your little fruity ass wasn't in here, would it be? Come on in here, fruit boots. Show me what you're working with. Walking through the stream, all that ass on you. Yeah, dude. This shit didn't get zesty till Lou Boo showed up. What up, Lou Boo? Insanely accurate shots to Charlie and Trump. Well, the Trump shot wasn't exactly all that accurate because it missed. This one, though, this was like a deer kill, bro. You ever seen somebody shoot a deer? You ever been told where to aim on a deer? You want a clean kill shot? Right there. So, yeah, well, that's what people are saying. CIA, I'm just saying, I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I know for sure it wasn't professional. It's starting to smell professional, isn't it? Because I feel like a yokel, because that's what I thought. When they said they had somebody in custody, I was like, all right, this was some fucking yokel. This was some yokel. Some local idiot or some weirdo, right? And they gaffled him up already. But when they came out and said, no, we ain't got him, I guess. We got nothing. That's when it starts smelling pro. You start looking at the bits and pieces. He had law enforcement fucking confused. Whoever, I said they. I don't know who. Maybe it was one of these crazy female assassins and shit. Who knows? This person had law enforcement completely confused. They made a shot that I don't care what distance they find out it was from. It was just a clean fucking kill shot. Clean kill. I will tell you this. Charlie Kirk was dead before he hit the floor. It was such a clean kill shot. Okay? That doesn't happen with a headshot. Headshots aren't instantaneous like that. You want a clean kill shot that drops somebody immediately? Right there it is, man. You got to sever that spinal cord. So I got to tell you right now, number one, dude slipped the net and maybe didn't even get caught on camera other than one blurry ass distant picture of somebody in all black, right? Dude slipped the net, got off the cleanest fucking kill shot you can possibly hope for. Guaranteed kill shot. No second shot needed. No double tap. One shot, one kill, right? And he got away clean. Starts to smell. No, he was dead before he hit the ground, my T guy. If you know anything about it, bro, you know that, right? He was dead before he hit the ground. You can watch. He's got the mic and he's like, well, I'm all... I mean, there's no like, oh, fuck, oh. There's none of that. It's like he's talking, he's there one day or 1 second, and the next second the light is out. That was a kill shot. Clean. He does try to bring his hand up. That's just that's just his body spasming. I've watched it too many times, Phoebes. There's no hand coming up. That is his body spasming for a half second. The bullet hits his hand. He has a full body spasm, and then he is out. He's gone as soon as the bullet hits. There was no attempt to bring his hand up. It was a spasm. His daughter was in the tent with him. I'd heard his wife and one of his children was there. And it's like, no. We talked about that, Jess. The blood that came out of him was dark arterial blood, and about a pint came out of him before he slumped over. Nobody survives that. You can't lose a pint of fucking blood instantly out of your artery, out of a deep arterial bleed. You're just dead. So, yeah. Well, we were orangutan. We were talking about because we're talking about this shot, right? I don't care if it wasn't that distance of a shot. This is the kill shot that a hunter will use, right? A lot of people think that like a sniper or something that has a good mid-distance shot is going to always aim for the forehead or something. That ain't how it works, bro. This is your kill shot, right? This is what you aim for in a perfect scenario. You want to make sure one shot, one kill. 200 yards is not a particularly hard sniper shot to hit, but hitting it exactly there, here, Charlie was hit here, right, from an angle, and it exited here, taking out his jugular on this side and clipping his spine back here. He was dead before he hit the floor. Dead before he even heard the report of the rifle. He was just gone. So that type of shot, you're going to talk about, right? You're going to talk about somebody that's got military training, right? So ex-mil or current mil. Or you're going to talk about somebody that hunts, but hunts avidly. We're going to talk about somebody that's dropped hundreds of deer, hundreds of bucks, moose, knows how to kill with one shot. Because that's the hunter, right? The hunter doesn't want to fill the meat up with bullet holes. You don't go to kill a deer. You line it up, you wait for the moment, one shot, one kill. No, I didn't say it was that far. Okay? That's not what I said. I said, in fact, if you rewind it, I said, that's a pretty easy shot from a scope. But it's the placement, bro. It's the placement, right? You know, like 200 yards, anybody that's handled a gun might have been able to hit him center mass from that pretty fucking easy. But you're gonna tell me anybody that has a little bit of gun experience could have put one right here? Nah, bro. That's a 3-inch error spot where if he hits anywhere 3 inches, he hits him in the jaw, he lives. Hits him back here, grazes the back of his neck, he lives. That's a 3-inch kill zone right there. See it? 2-inch. He hit that from 200 yards. That's not an easy shot, bro. So he's a trained person. We don't know military training. We don't know hunter, right? Or both. It's a high caliber round. Where am I from? I was born and raised in California, and currently I live in Washington. I lived all over the states, though. I'm a wanderer. Only region I've never lived in is like the east, the extreme east coast. I lived in the Midwest, I lived down south, lived out west, and in the, what do they call that? Like the Southwest? Yeah. East Coast, Least Coast. Where in Cali? Central Cali, if you know it. So the closest town that you would probably know, I wasn't born there, but Fresno. Real shit. Real shithole, man. I do not recommend. Don't bother. There are better places in Cali to go, but I was born there. That's where my family's from. My family's up here in Washington visiting me today. My parents are in bed, but my mom and stepdad are here staying with me on a visit. Yeah, West Coast, Best Coast for sure. We all know that. Charlie is unlucky as fuck, or the sniper is goated with the sauce. I tend to think the sniper is goated. I don't think he accidentally hit the perfect sniper kill zone on the person. I think that was intentional. He didn't aim. Yeah, one shot, one kill, but that's not weird. That's not weird. That's what a trained hunter, that's what a trained sniper goes for. You don't get 3, 4 shots on a sniper target if you're a high value target, right? You're talking about somebody that, if you look at the footage, there are security people and cops all around Charlie. Charlie had private security, cops, he had all the shit. So yeah, you don't get 2, 3, fucking 4 shots, right? One shot, one kill. That's why we're talking about, like, this could be a trained person. It almost has to be a trained person. Could be ex-military, current active military, could be a hunter. But it would have to be a really avid hunter, somebody that's got a lot of kills, somebody that does it a lot. Somebody that's really, really comfortable with their weapon and has a lot of experiences, you know, lining up a shot, waiting for his moment. All of that stuff. Y'all are disgusting. What? Who are you talking about? People in the chat? Because I ain't saying nothing about Charlie. Other than that was the craziest shit that I've fucking ever seen in my lifetime. Craziest political assassination I've personally witnessed. I was born in 1980. I haven't seen anything like that ever. This world needs healing. We agree. I'm an atheist and a Taoist. I may not be a Christian, but damn, you are right. This world needs healing. Do you think the Dems will help the Republican scapegoat with the left? I've already stepped away from us politically. No. They'll provide pushback, but it won't be enough. Ooh. Ugh. You get up to take a leak and grab a joint. Half the people watching you leave. Like, what do you guys think we are, robots? You think people could just sit for 24? Like, that's what they want. That's what that's what you guys want. I went to go grab a joint, and I even forgot my cup, too. Yeah. It's just insane, man. It's wild. I mean, there's no pressure on me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do these for money. Line go down, yeah. Line go down, dude. What do? Line go down. What line go up? Well, I'll tell you this. Line went up today. Ooh. Did you watch it live? It wasn't live, but I saw it about 10 minutes after it broke, before the news was covering it. I don't like dono, and like it's I'm not against other people doing it, but I don't like dono asking, because this is just, I just do this for fun. You did well today, Paul. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, but it was tough. Like I said, I don't mean to bitch about it, but like, once the adrenaline wore off after I saw that shit, saw his neck blow out, I got all the guys on the phone, and then I went down, started a stream. After I'd been there about an hour and a half, I started processing it, and I was like, oh. So have you heard, Connor, that's a great question, but thank you for the money. What's your favorite song by Radiohead? Have you heard Just? It's either that or Weird Fishes off of In Rainbows. One of the two. Those are my two favorites. Well, that are the Bends. So I like the Bends, I like Just, and I like Weird Fishes. And I like Black Star. God damn it. And I like Paranoid Android. God damn it. Okay, never mind. It's getting crazy. But Weird Fishes is one that a lot of people don't ever cite. We get eaten by the worms. And weird fishes. DJ's take was a little rough today. It seems short-sighted. I love TJ. My business partner, he's my friend. But TJ, I think people love him because he has no filter. But sometimes you have to be strategic. You know what I mean? Strategically have no filter. And he would argue, that's having a filter. Well, okay, filter your no filter then. I don't know what to tell you, but like, bro, the way that he came in, I mean, it's like wrestling to him. And I get it. That is truly TJ's perspective. He told me that one of the first times I ever met him, and this is like 15 years ago, probably. Before we ever started working together, I was on TJ brought me on, did an interview with me. And he told me, he takes the Carlin view of life. I've got a ticket to the freak show. I've got an admit one ticket to that freak show, and I'm gonna fucking celebrate and hoot and holler, and I'm gonna enjoy the show. And I get that, but on the flip side, bro, it's hard to meld that personality with a personality that will make money on YouTube. Like, not money, but like make ad money on YouTube, which is what everybody needs, right? Like, we're lucky. We've got a big fan base that's willing to come out of pocket for us, but we're not going to even talk about that, Phoebes. I had to have a whole conversation with Amelia. I know that Scotty had to have a whole conversation with Taylor. I know TJ got his ass chewed out. I know. And it's just like, bro, I was flabbergasted. Because it's like, how hard do you go at your co-host live? Because I wanted to rip him the fuck up. So I just called him retarded for a few times, and I got up and walked away for about 5 minutes. Yeah, it's just like retarded. Like it took a second for it to even sink in what he'd said. And then I was like, what? Ugh. I'll be honest, I'm still mad at him. I'll have to harangue him. He's going to have to take a haranguing. And I think Scotty's probably going to want to fucking harangue him too. Because I was dead ass. That's stupider than the Greg Abbott shit he said. Dude, Martelli, the dude that tried to bring guns into the fucking LA meetup. It's like, dude, are you retarded? Him saying Charlie shot people with his words. That was retarded too. I took that as kind of just a joke. I don't even want to repeat it, Nikki. Don't repeat it. Don't worry about it. It was something he shouldn't have said. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. No need. Yeah, you can watch the fucking episode. It's still up. You'll know what I'm talking about. You watch the whole goddamn thing. It's while I was still on. I left a couple hours before they ended it, so you can just watch up until. Yeah, it won't. It'll be apparent. Okay, it'll be apparent what we're talking about. Here's one that I can tell you about. So I started the stream today, and then Scotty joined me about 5 or 10 minutes later, and then TJ joined, right? So me and Scotty are talking, and we're in the midst of telling chat, like, guys, don't be celebrating this, because if you're against Charlie Kirk, he just became immortal. His words just doubled in power. We're trying to explain, like, don't celebrate like a chimp. Once again, if you were against Charlie Kirk, he just became more powerful than he ever would have become if you just let him die a natural death. And as we're saying that, I shit you not, as we're saying that, TJ comes on the camera. He's playing Celebrate Good Times, Come On. And he's waving a skull around at the camera. Yahoo! That's TJ though, you know what I mean? And it's like, as we're fucking making an effort to try and calm down our stupid ass fucking reactionary audience members and just the looky-loos that were piecing up and coming by and shit, fucking TJ's out there doing it. He's out there like inciting it. Totally unrelated. Oh yeah. That's completely like below the bar for, what we're talking about. But yeah, no, Castro, it was odd. The whole thing was odd, I had to leave, for personal reasons. Like that shit, me with gun violence and stuff, and then TJ saying what he did, it was just like, I wasn't even gonna mention the TJ shit, but you guys mentioned it, and it's just like, man, I can't fucking be in the room with this shit. It ain't funny to me. I found no giggle out of it. And it's not even that I think it's like all that likely or probable that somebody's going to do it because of that. It's just the fucking sheer thoughtlessness of it that really fucking drilled home to me. Not only that, but just filled my mind with pictures of that I wouldn't even have been thinking about. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a whiny little bitch baby about it or whatever, but I have PTSD. I'm the victim of gun violence and shit. When the dude at the LA meetup, the security guy showed me the gun that the dude had brought, I didn't know it was an airsoft gun. It looked very real. And he showed it to me, and I almost fucking fainted. I started weeping in his office because I get triggered by that shit, bro. I don't like gun violence. I don't like having people, and watching somebody get their fucking head blown off was wild for me. And then I'm live, so I'm running on that whole like fight or flight adrenaline shit. And it's like, then TJ said that shit, and it was like, it became real for me. It was like I came down off that high, and I was like, oh fuck. And I started thinking all kinds of shit. And then, it just led to a whole fucking episode with me where I had a whole ass PTSD shit where I was just like disassociating. I was out here on the porch just like staring at the sun. Just like staring at the sun coming through the trees, and like my mind is just filled with like intrusive reimaginings of the shit that happened to me and these fucking weird bloody kind of eventualities and all that shit. It was an irresponsible thing to say, not just because it's blanket irresponsible, but also because he knows me. And it's like he wasn't thinking about anybody but himself in that moment. It just proves it. He's not thinking about the fact that his brother is a father. He's not thinking about the fact that all of us have wives. He's not thinking about the fact that one of his co-hosts is the victim of gun violence. He just wanted to make a meme. Whatever. I'll harangue him for it, and it'll be water under the bridge, but... No, I did say that. I said, dude, we're going to have to put you on a fucking 10-second delay so we can bleep you when you decide to say something utterly thoughtless and retarded. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not trying to be a bitch about it. I'm fine. I'm responsible for my own mental state. But it's just like, I don't expect that either. I don't expect that connection to be made or that joke to be made. You know what I mean? Like, it's not off limits, or well, I guess it should be, but I'm not trying to claim that it, I would think that it, like, I wouldn't make that joke. But whatever. Isn't that the selling point for TJ? Well, it was the selling point for TJ and a lot of the people that TJ looks up to. For some reason, the people that TJ looks up to, though, all found a way to thread the needle, and he doesn't. Yeah, it is what it is, Phoebes. I'm not asking you to fucking say it's fucked up. It just is what it is. All of our wives are going to be there. You know what I mean? Son of a bitch. Anyway, Weird day, rough day, crazy day. I don't know what else to say, you know? And it sucks too. Here, my parents are here visiting. They're old, you know, pushing 70. They're here 2 states away from where they live, visiting me in my home. And, you know, I had to spend all fucking day today streaming. Then I was fucked up afterwards. Didn't even feel like I could be around people for most of the day. And, yeah, I don't know. It's fucked up. Appreciate you having a heart about this, Paul. Basically, man, well, it is what it is, man. I mean, something like this happens, and it's like there's no angle from it. There's no angle about this that you know you can be flippant about. You can be funny. Like some people are making the like, I guess he got proved wrong joke. That's a dark gallows humor joke that I won't make, but I've seen it in the chat, and it's like. You know, but there's that, and then there's just being flippant and just being like, and I get it. TJ's like, maybe I don't get it. I don't know. This like weird, because like this chaos wizard thing just comes off as like a slightly obfuscated Joker worship, and the Joker like to fuck things up and revel in violence. And I kind of feel like when violent things happen on the show, TJ's always the one that's got the dimples in his cheeks from smiling and giggling, you know. And so I'm thinking that maybe it's like, you know, because I don't know. I've said that shit to him. I'm not saying that like the whole chaos magic shit is ungenuine. I'm just thinking that it has a lot more to do with the Joker than he lets on, you know. Or maybe he lets on more than I know about it being about the Joker, but it just seems like that's where it's coming from. TJ seems like he would do the worst in genuine chaos societal collapse. Well, I've said that to him before, because this ain't new. Like, whenever there's riots, he's like, oh, you guys remember, like, there was a big-ass riot, and then TJ uploaded that video. Once again, I think it's relevant to say he did a Joker impression through the whole thing, and he was like, it was all black screen. He was like, I love riots. I love watching it burn. And it's just like, TJ would do that video and he feels that way until it's his house burning or his block, until there's roving gangs of people running up and down his street. Then all of a sudden he's got all the empathy in the world. He's like, it just sucks. But it is an attribute of TJ that I've noticed multiple times over the years I've known him, is that he's got a little bit of a problem putting reality at his own doorstep. He thinks about the world as like this big TV screen that he's not in, like he's apart from it. In fact, one of the times TJ and I fought hardest, people won't remember this because it was pre-DP, was over Casey and Kaylee Anthony and stuff. And I was talking about how, like, you know what I mean? It was like empathy. I was talking about people taking these murder stories. It was an early kind of prescient video, honestly, if I'm not to toot my own horn, but it was about like true crime and how so many people had leaned into this Casey Kaylee Anthony thing that had happened, and how disgusting it was to see people reveling in all the death and, you know, and shit like that. And it was about how I don't have the capacity in my life to care about all of these little minor, all of these individual murders, you know, when the world itself is collapsing, and, you know, my empathy is better spent for the common working man. And he came back and he was like, you know, basically, I love child murder. No, I mean, it wasn't like that, but he was basically like, you're fucking full of it, and everybody cares, and nobody cares, and blah, blah. You shouldn't care about anybody. You should have no empathy for anything, basically, blah. You know, and like, I think he's got a little bit of that. I think TJ struggles against it, but I think in moments like these, he can't restrain it. I think, like, you know how everybody's got a coping mechanism? I think TJ's coping mechanism is to make the darkest, most inappropriate joke and then revel in all of the negative intention from. I think that's how he processes shit sometimes, to be real. I don't know that I agree. I don't know that TJ's an accelerationist. I think he's an accelerationist until the acceleration hits his town. Then he wants the acceleration to make a dead stop, make a nice trek around his town, and then continue. Like that's the problem that I have with TJ is I don't think TJ is going to be out there on the front lines throwing shit at the cops. You know? But he revels when other people do it. I just think if it came to his neighborhood, he'd be like, oh, shit, fuck, no, my stuff and my family. Of course he would be. You know what I mean? So I think that's the problem with it, you know, that I have with it. Well, you know, I get it, Phoebes, gadfly, all that. I'm a good gadfly, too. Here's the thing. I'm all down for being a gadfly up until the point where you mockingly call for somebody to come shoot us at a meetup that's coming. You get it? TJ, oh, here he is. You want to go live and fucking hash this out, TJ? You want to go live and hash this shit out? Let's do it. You sleepless motherfucker. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I didn't think he was going to say yes. Where are we going live? Should we go live on... Where should we go live? I can't bring you onto this live. So where should we do it? Should we go live on my channel but through StreamYard? What's the easiest way for you? Instagram split screen. Well, we can do that here, but I've never done it. Yeah, that'd probably work best. Okay. All right. I'm on my way down. Give me a couple minutes, everybody. I'll go live again here in a second, I guess, to talk to TJ.